my man. I'm Corky. I just usually don't know. And our commissioners are here tonight. They're not quote on the agenda, but we've got Mayor John Daniil, Vice Mayor Ron Sutton, Treasurer Secretary Jim Pedrini. Where's April? Right back there. Hi, April. And Jerry Ellis is missing in action. And the agenda will be substantially the same as it has been in the past 10 years or so. There'll be first a State of the City address by John, then the annual report by Ed Borshevitz, and the chief will get up and tell us what's going on in that part of the world, and then we'll have questions. And after each one of these speakers is finished with the presentation, we'll open the mic for questions from the audience. Okay? Any questions at this point? Well, if not, then I'd like to introduce Mayor John Daniil.
As you know, we spent a lot of money cleaning up. Pretty much drained our reserve funds. So we're going to FEMA, and we've got a contractor, IBTS, that Chris Muniz found out through the Florida League of Cities. They're helping us work with FEMA to get everything we can out of them. We're also working with the state. Chris has made a trip up to Tallahassee. I've made a trip up to Tallahassee already. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. And then insurance companies. Well, of course, everybody having a great time with their insurance companies? Raise your hand. Okay. Same with us. We're not getting much out of insurance, so we're looking at other avenues. And the state is also legislative side and executive side. I also talked with the head of DEO, Department of Economic Opportunity. They kind of oversee us. We're, of course, a corporation under the state. They help us out. They look after us. So I talked to her, Chrissy Proctor, very nice lady, and they're going to hopefully we're going to get some action out of that.
And there's a concern about making sure that you're involved in the election process. And there was a fear that if we move the election from March, which is when we normally have it, and when you're normally here, we move it to November, you might not be involved in the voting process. Well, we've done a little bit of research to evaluate that process. Just to give you some numbers and a frame of reference, the last time that we had a KCB election, which was actually this year, last year, 2017, we had 751 registered voters. Of those, 310 actually cast ballots, so 41% was our turnout. We had absentee voters of 102, and we had no early voters because we don't have an early voting mechanism. This will change that. If we approve this addendum, then we will actually be allowed to have early voting as well.
Officer Rodriguez joined the Key Colony Beach Police Department. He came from Hernando County Sheriff's Office. He had a desire to serve the city since every time he would visit here where his family lived. When he first got here, we told him, you've got to get used to a slower pace. It's the quality of life issues that really matter here. But within the past 5 months, he's arrested 2 felons, got a gun off the street and heroin off the street. And that was in Key Colony Beach. And I did want to make note, too, that when we were preparing for Irma, he was supposed to start. He kept calling us every day, can I come down, can I come down? I said, Jeff, I don't know if we're going to be here. I need you to stay up there, then you can come down if we're not here. So I do appreciate that. Thank you very much.
So I would venture a guess that there's going to be some strong discussion post-Irma at the Capitol and with the administration as to how they're going to handle the modeling for evacuations and how Irma played an impact in terms of evacuation on how many buildings should be built in the Keys, because that's what they last hung their hat on when they had this edict of so many building rights in the Keys.
But next I'd like to ask Ed Borshevitz to come up here and give his annual report. Thanks, Ed.
Good evening, friends. Thank you for allowing me to serve the citizens of Key Colony Beach as your building official since 1987. The year of 2017 will be one we remember for quite some time. Hurricane Irma's wind, waves, and storm surge severely damaged our beautiful city. We were hit with gusts of wind up to 160 miles an hour, numerous mini tornadoes, rising waters up to 4 feet above our streets' center lines, and severe high waves along our oceanfront properties. The first week following Irma's landfall was the most challenging, but also brought out our best. All roads were blocked with sand, debris, utility poles, utility lines, and trees. The city had no power, no water, no phones, and no internet. We were disconnected from everyone until Vinny, the manager at Monte Cristo Condos, and Mr. Paul Cole, a resident on 8th Street, discovered that their hard phone lines at their homes were operational and opened them up for all to use in the city. We are all going through difficult times, but the city of Key Colony Beach will recover. I am proud to serve you in the city and would like to thank all the city's residents for your assistance and kind words. I would also like to thank all my co-workers in the city for their family-like attitude and keeping your city running as best as it can. Thank you again, residents, for allowing me to serve.